everybody, this is Denise Estrella, and I'm your instructor this term for Educational Technology. So I'm actually here on the Meet Your Instructor page, just so that you have a chance to see what I look like, and also to show you where you can find my contact information. This is my phone number, which you're welcome to use, call or text, and this is my email address. I am able to check it fairly frequently during the day. Email is probably the quickest and most efficient way to reach me, especially if you have a quick question. Text is also fine. I'm pretty quick at responding to text. If you do use my phone number, could you please identify yourself in your first message, because I won't necessarily recognize your phone number, at least for the first time. So those are some quick ways to get a hold of me. You can read a little bit more about my background and experience here. The most important part, I'm sure, is the fact that I like to grow heirloom tomatoes. That's my hobby, and because it's spring, I'll be getting ready to get those started now. Okay, enough about me. Wanted to take you on a quick tour of our classroom shell. So that's the Meet Your Instructor. This video will be available here on the link as soon as I'm done recording it. And then if you select course syllabus, you can get a good view of the next 9 weeks in paper format. So just connect to course syllabus and then click on the link. I'm not going to go through and read this to you. It's fairly similar to all of the other syllabi that you've had for Concordia. I just wanted to point out that all of the information in the course shell is located in one document. It's sometimes a good idea to keep a copy of this for your records. Sometime in the future, you may want to go back and provide some evidence of a class that you took and what was covered. So it's not a bad idea to keep it in an electronic file. So if you scroll through, you'll find the course description, and by week, in a color-coded manner, you'll see all of the different things we'll be covering. So this is one visual view of the course, and it will go through as you scroll through each week. But you can also get that same information in our course syllabus. Because as you click on the schedule, for each week the same information is presented in a weekly basis. And this is the view that I'll be reviewing with you each week. Each week we will talk about the topics, the learning outcomes, and the week 1 tasks. Or, well, the tasks for each week, which will be in each of the summary boxes over here on the right. So you'll be able to access the weekly content and any additional reading or informational posts that are included, as well as find your discussion board prompts and the Christian message if you choose to participate in that, as well as a summary of details about the assignments that are due that week. So there's a separate video about week 1 that I've already created. Please view the weekly overview each week. So I'm not going to go through each of the 8 weeks because there'll be a separate video for each of those. Instead, I'm just going to go over a couple other course features. The one that you'll find when you open up the course is the announcements page. So here I've posted a welcome. And I've also, just as a reminder, listed the dates of each of the weeks of this term. I want to call your attention to the fact that we do take a week off for spring break, April 13th through the 19th. No classes will be held that week and no assignments will be due. And then our last week, as is typical, will end on a Friday. So the last day of this course is May 1st. And that's the reason why we have 9 weeks together, because there's 8 weeks of class plus 1 week of spring break. So go ahead and mark your calendars. I know for some of you it does not overlap with the break you may have from your job, but just so you know, there is a spring break in this term. So I'll be posting different announcements here. Generally, it does push out as an email to you on your Concordia Eagles account. Um, but just in case you have a question, your first places to check would be here on the announcements page or possibly in the overview video. Um, I tend to use those two as the way of communicating the most. Okay, so the next course item is the discussion board. Now, this is the one place where my view is a little bit different than yours. Um, yours will not look the same on this right side, but you will find each of the weekly prompts posted here, and also a place for you to access the discussion board criteria and grading rubric in case you have any questions about how your submissions will be graded. I encourage you to review that at least once in the course um, so that you're familiar with what the criteria are, but you probably don't have to review it every week. And generally speaking, your posts to the discussion board are due by midnight on Thursday of the assigned week. And then by Sunday, you will want to respond to 2 of your peers' posts with substance. Quite often, if students miss some of their points on the discussion board, it's because they might forget to go in before Sunday and post their response. So don't forget that there's 2 parts to that. Okay, there's also a link called Submit Assignments. And you'll see a list of each of the assignments here. And I've updated each of them to show the date that the assignments are due. And like the discussion board, they're due by midnight of that night. So scrolling down, you can look forward and see which ones are due when. We have 7 assignments total. The last one is due on the last day of the term, which again is on May 1st. And you can see also how many points they are worth. And for any of these assignments, you simply can click on the link to get the directions and the grading rubric. So there'll be a full description of it there. And then to submit the assignment, you just click at the top. I'll have to go through and check on this. I don't know why it says August 23rd, 2018. But here is where you can attach your files and then press submit. Okay. I want to skip down now to the resources section just to call your attention to the fact that any information you may want to access about your programs are listed here. You can also access your capstone handbook. There is some great links. There are some great links here for resources about your writing. Please do not format your own paper. Simply use the template by following these directions. When I was in graduate school, I had to make my own template, but here they provide one for you. Here is a short excerpt of APA Basics for your program. You can always access Purdue OWL for more information about APA formatting. And this is a really nice list. I've used this often of verbs of attribution. These will make your writing much more strong. And it's provided for you, so you might as well be aware of the resource and also put it to use. I always found this to be a really great handout. And then also a reminder that there is the Writing Studio. I find that students who access the Writing Studio early in the course tend to have stronger assignments and therefore higher grades on each assignment if writing is not your first love or your particular area of strength. Feel free to use the Writing Studio. It's part of a service that you pay for with your tuition, and it really is set up nicely to support online remote students. So You can find more information about the Writing Studio here, but an email submission is how students in this class generally access it. You upload your paper and you get feedback, and you're able to submit a more polished product that gets higher points each time. So I just wanted to remind you about that, as well as the library resources. And again, it's a service that you pay for. You should feel free to access it often. It is really a very good library, I found. I use it myself. Okay, last little piece is that you will be able to access your grade in the course by clicking on My Grades. This part isn't hooked up because I'm an instructor, but you've probably found that from your previous courses. And then if you need to access any of your classmates, you can use this send email feature. Again, you probably don't want to use all users because that will send it to people outside of the course, such as some of the administrative staff that have access to our course. Not a big deal if you do. I don't have any groups set up at this time, so you don't need to worry about that one. Teaching assistant, we do have some administrative support that is listed as a teaching assistant, but you probably won't want to contact them. But if you wanted to access other students in the course, you could use this section here, all student users. And then you'll see your classmates listed here, first and last name. That will save you from having to guess at their email conventions. You can see this one would come from me. I could type in my subject, my message, and I could send. So feel free if you need to contact your classmates to use this feature, unless you already know them and have their contact information. Okay, so that's an overview of our course. That's the library. We went over making an appointment in the student things. So if you have any questions, again, just want to refer you to my contact information. It's not only here on the Meet Your Instructor page, I also made an announcement and I've listed my contact information there as well, right here. So welcome to the course, and I'm looking forward to working with you.